Hey, Suraj, are you pregnant yet? Oh, you're not pregnant. Effextinol. Effextecnol. Hello, Melissa. This jacket. This is my brother's jacket. He's giving me ones that don't fit him anymore. He's gotten a little fatter. Would you like to join us, Suraj? You're welcome to join in. Melissa, you're welcome to join in too if you'd like. Click on that link. Where did I put the button? This house is very dark. Okay. What does your dad do? I'm filling pens. I found my bottle of ink. Oh, cool. What was he in the Army? Was he a general or a corporal or a private? Well, was he high up or low down or in the middle somewhere? Oh, cool. I'm trying to think back to the recent history of India, wondering whether there was any armed war. Oh, there's Melissa.
There we go. I just have to set a few settings here, I think.
Okay, hello.
Don't. There we go.
One thing you need to do, if you can, is to mute the sound, mute the YouTube thing. Now you're using StreamYard to connect with me.
There we go. Oh, does that work?
Hello, hello, testing.
Testing. Does that work? All right.
We don't have the echo.
All right.
Good. Well, nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Face to face.
Yeah, with my uncut hair.
Well, and look at what mine's doing.
It's good. We're having a bad hair day together.
Well, I don't think my hairdo is ever good, but
No.
Suraj is the other guy in the room here. Suraj is a guy that I've known for a decade or more, and he's in India right now. But anyway, so you have do you have an external camera, or are you using a phone right now?
I'm using my phone.
Okay. Are you able to if you wanted to, we don't have to do this now, but if you wanted to aim the camera with the back camera, can you hold the camera in your left hand above the paper and write with the right hand?
I might be able to, yeah.
Okay, good.
Let me go into the kitchen here because I don't have my desk in my room. Oh no, the TV is up very loud out here.
Maybe I would listen to her, but I am no longer the man.
There we go. Just gotta get into my roll top. Okay. Let me turn this around. Oh.
There should be I don't know how you do it. I figured out finally how I do it here, but I don't know how you do it on your camera.
There we go.
There, you did it. Yay. Okay, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that on my camera as well and aim this down so I can point it down.
Yeah.
Find out where is the thing here?
There we go. I can do that. I was actually emailing Ian this morning. He was showing me some of his old starting calligraphy
Oh, yeah.
because he was trying to encourage me to do it, and he was like, "I was not good when I first started."
Well, I should show you what I did when I started doing it many years ago. But I still don't really do it. I just have interesting handwriting. So what pen are you using now?
Just my Parker 51 Special.
Oh, okay.
It's my favorite pen because it's the only vintage one I have.
Well, I tell you what, let me get my Parker 51 Special as well. So
all right,
we have matching pens. So again, when you initially wrote, you were sort of writing like this and holding the pen going off toward 3 o'clock,
yep,
rather than 6 o'clock or 4:30.
Gotcha.
So if there's a way where you can hold the pen more as close to your shoulder as you can, I think in the long run that will allow you, when you get a flexible nib pen, to be more what's the word I want? More expressive with the line. So now with a 51, Johnny One Note that they are. I mean, this is a 51 Special as well, but I'm just barely, like the weight of the pen, look at how I'm holding the pen.
Okay.
And it's just the weight of the pen is making a little tiny bit of a line. If I, hold it more vertically, it is making a line. So, but there's hardly any line. So if you can get a little tiny bit of a line, try to draw the finest line that you can.
I might need to put more ink in this thing.
Well, you might need to do that, but if you, that last one you did is much finer than the first one you did.
Yes.
So part of learning how to take advantage of the pressured line, this is pressing down, this is not pressing down. So you see the difference between that
Right.
and that. So your job, your homework is sort of to try to make a slinky, with as lightly as you can, across the page, and do the same, do a couple rows of that, and then maybe do one that's hard all across the page. And then comes the hard part, doing light up, hard down, light up, hard down, light up, hard down. And sometimes it's easier to do it when it's bigger, when you're moving your whole hand, and it gives you time to change gears. When you do it small, it's really hard to remember to change gears at each end of the thing, at the top end and at the bottom. But if you make it big, you can sort of down, up, down, up, down, up, and just press down, lift up, press down, lift up. It's very easy to know which to do as you're moving in that direction. Now your 51 does seem to have some variety of line. Do you have another pen that has a little more flexibility to it?
Let's go look in the box.
Go look in the box.
Hold on. Well, we've got, let's see, 3 Metropolitans.
Yeah.
And then these 2 are like Trevinks. They might have a little variation. If I could get it off.
Well, why don't you put the phone down and just uncap, just test them out, and when you're done, we'll take a look at which one you think is the most.
Oh, this one's got a lot of flex, I would imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use that one then. Let's just.
Oh, wait, let me ink this one up.
Okay.
Why are you not inking up?
Dear. It's one of those cartridge piston things.
Oh, you know it. It was like when I first got into fountain pens and I didn't know anything. So I thought Amazon's a good place. They never fail me.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, they really didn't. That pen was only $15.
Yeah. Okay.
So just need a napkin here. All right. Okay, let's get a new piece of paper here. Just turn this over. So lightly up, down. I mean, it's got a little bit of flex to it. It produces a pretty broad.
I can see it here. I mean, but just without worrying about pressing down at all, try to make your slinky doing as light a slinky as you can. And your camera is still on the ground, so I'm not really seeing exactly what you're doing, but. Okay, that's hard. And that's light. Okay, well, there's enough oomph there. So, make your big slinky, maybe 2 or 3 inches tall. I mean, just use the whole, and, try, as you do your slinky, try to do lift up as you go up, press down as you pull down, and see if you can get it's hard to do it when you're holding a phone. It's hard to do it. But you're doing it okay. You're doing a good job of stepping on the gas to go from 0 to 60, but try to be as graceful going from 60 to 0. So
I gotcha.
you sort of have to start lifting up halfway on. Yeah, when you're doing your slinky, think of the top of the slinky as a 12 o'clock and the bottom is a 6. So on the as soon as you start going down from 12 o'clock backwards toward 9 o'clock, you can press down. But when you get to about 8 o'clock, lift up. Start lifting up there. Don't wait till you get all the way to the bottom. Or try 9 o'clock. Try at 9 o'clock. Get thick. Okay. Yes. You end up. Try to keep your hand going in the big oval, but just try to lift up on the pen as you're going. Still going down, pulling toward you. Lift. It's sort of lifting up. Don't wait till 6 o'clock till the bottom.
Okay.
You want to. You do that sometimes when you're making zigzaggy lines, but when you're making an oval or an O shape, it's sometimes better for you to start lifting up earlier than at the bottom. And again, Suraj, I think Melissa, unfortunately she's dealing with only one hand here. Normally her left hand would hold the paper straight. So good. I mean, this little exercise that you're doing is 9/10 of calligraphy. is learning how to press down on the downstroke and lift up on the upstroke, and then to do it gracefully and to deal with the spacing of the letters and to deal with all the other stuff. That's the other 10%. But sort of learning how to do this, it's the first of many steps, but I think this is the most important thing to start with. So do this, Melissa. Put down your left hand. Put the phone down.
All right.
Turn the paper over. Start afresh, and
Right.
hold the paper with your left hand.
Got it.
So it's tight, and then just do very quickly right now. Just do as fast as you can. Go across the page with your slinky.
All right.
And just. They look like they're pretty smooth. Anyway, you're not. I don't see you shifting gears. You're not making that jerk, but it seems like you're still pressing down when you get down to the 6.
Yeah, it's like I forget to press down until I get down there.
Okay, well,
let's try.
Yeah, learn to press down as soon as you leave 12 o'clock and go toward 11 and 9, and then just start lifting up. Maybe making, rather than doing a slinky like this, maybe just do a curved line where you go from thick to thin to thick. Thin to thick to thin, just like a parentheses.
All right, I can.
And then try to, as you're learning how to do that semicircle, try to me, it's hard to do that. It's harder than making a circle, but if there's a way where you can press down and lift up, but you're still moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said you're doing well. I was looking at my own.
Yeah, you're doing
I'm
very
doing
well.
really well. You're almost perfect. No, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. But again, this is something where you're moving your hand, and try. It looks like you're doing it. It looks like you're moving your arm, not your fingers. So that's another good thing you're doing.
Let's try here.
Yeah. Okay. So again, make the lightest C that you can. just as light as you can make it.
This is a really wet pen. I never realized it.
Yeah, it looks kind of wet, but again, I think this is a really good exercise for you. And by doing it large like this, you're writing a lot larger than you normally do.
Right.
But by doing this, it just helps get your hand moving, and it gives you time to change the speed. And then when you get down to doing, I really have a hard time writing small and having it be as thin as I want, because it's just too small. I need space for that. But and I'm using a very, a pen like a 51 here, so it doesn't have a lot of variety.
Gotta go light at the end.
Yeah, it's sort of tough. I mean, maybe it's better to do the slinky again, the
It
spring,
might be.
because your hand will be continually in movement, and it's, I mean, maybe that would be good. Just take a piece of paper and go, fill it up on both sides with those sorts of motions, and you should see that you're able to press down the gas, lift up, press up, down, up, down, up, down, and then your hand will soon learn these muscles, and you won't have to think about it anymore. And then when you actually try to write a word and you're dealing with spelling, of course, you're going to forget all about this, but eventually you won't. It'll come second nature to you.
Yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day, I hear.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. So do you normally hold the pen as far back as you're holding it?
No, I normally hold it probably about here. It just kind of
Okay.
slipped up on me while I was
Yeah.
trying to hold the paper.
Okay. I mean, hold it. You held the pen okay, in terms of where it was on your fingers. I mean, sometimes it's great to hold the pen way further back, especially when I'm drawing. I might hold it that way. But I'd like you to not. I'm one of these, quote, teachers that doesn't make you do everything from scratch. I like to keep what you already know comfortable and then try to tweak one thing at a time. So right now, the issue that I see is your inability to lift up on the pen on the downstroke. So, and that's a hard one to do. And it's going to be even harder when you're actually writing with words. But it might be easier actually when you do that. If you're writing an actual word, T, and then H, E. So when I'm doing that with this pen, down, and then the next word, I lift up the next letter, lift down for the next part of the letter, and then I lift up for the next letter. So maybe it's easier actually to do letters than it is to do just a slinky. Because when you're doing letters, usually the upstroke is a new letter.
Right.
You're sort of resetting yourself at this. Of course, when you get a letter like an M, they're all connected and they're all part of one thing. But I think that might help. So Lily, L-I, well, that's not how you spell Lily, but L-I, try L-I-L-L-Y. I know that's not how you spell Lily, but that's how we're going to spell it. So down, and then you lift up for the I, down on the I, up on the L, down on the L, up on the L, down on the L, up down, up, down, up. Because we're building the word by letter segments, if you think of the beginning of making the letter as the up, the light up, and then the heavy down, maybe that might work better.
This pen is very, very wet.
Okay, well, go back to your Parker.
I will. Let's try
Let's go
that.
Let's go back to the Parker and see how that will work for you now.
All right, let's try light upstroke, heavy downstroke, light upstroke, heavy downstroke.
Well, it looks, I mean, you're dealing with a Johnny OneNote pen, so but it looks, Joshua says, looks like fun. I'm in snack break again. Can't chat, but he'll watch. Anyway, I think one of the things that I'm gonna have you do this. See, that's a beautiful L. The first one you made.
That was really hard.
That was hard.
That was hard.
Oh, well, I didn't say this was going to be easy.
Very fair. You did not say that.
Yeah. But one of the things that you can do, I think part of naturally writing, like look at what I'm doing right here. I'm just scribbling up and down, and I'm not really thinking of pressing down on the downstroke, but it happens automatically when I'm writing fast. So if you took your 51 in your hand and pick a clean area of the paper and try to write what I'm going to tell you right now. You're taking dictation, and I know I'm going to go too fast, but just try to keep up.
All right.
So I'm looking out of my window and the sky is blue and there's some sun that's hitting the trees. Okay, you're writing small. So
bigger?
No, it's fine. It's just that if you write bigger, yeah, let's try to write 2 or 3 times bigger than that.
All right.
I'll start with a new sentence. My dead father's shoes are a little bit too tight for my fat feet. You're writing small again. You started big, and now you're getting small.
So now I'm getting small.
But you're. I mean, look at the word dead.
Oh yeah,
and it does seem that there is some more light and dark that you're getting there. More variation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true? Do you see it?
Yeah, like right here, it's really thick.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of.
Yeah. So I do think that by writing fast, and this is something you can do, you're sitting in front of the TV and you just try to write down the text of the newscast or whatever, and try to write as fast as you can. I think you might see, and maybe twice as big as you normally do, I think your hand will automatically make this thick and thin stuff.
All right.
Just because you're writing fast. And it always seems to work, and I think I know why, but I haven't done actual tests to prove it. But I think that it has to do with, when the pen in your hand and the pen gets to the top of a letter, it's far away from you, farther away than the bottom. and you're writing fast and you're pulling the pen toward you, the distance between that point and this point on the page and the nib and the pen is closer to you, so you're automatically pressing down, you know, because it's closer, you know. So I think by writing fast, especially fast, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about trying to get the words in. And I think that that's a good way of practicing certain elements of the pen. But I'm going to move my camera around the other way again. Oh. So I think that those two are, you know, you might find, Melissa, you might see more obvious improvement maybe, or difference if you use the finest pen you have.
Okay. Let's
rather
see.
than, you know, there might, because I think the finest will, if the finest line you can make will probably be better than the pens you have. You know, it won't be wet. So pick a fine nibbed pen, and then see how, without damaging the pen, how thick you can make it. And I do think that the difference, what I want you to find is the pen that will give you the biggest difference between the thin and the thick. And the thin could be very thin, and the thicker part could be just a little tiny bit thicker. But I just want the biggest range, because that one I think you'll see which you'll see your improvement more readily.
Hold on.
Oh, look at you! You're making a mess. Can't take you anywhere.
I know, I'm making a huge mess. There we go.
Remind me not to go to a spaghetti dinner with you.
No, that would not. You would not enjoy that. I can't wear white. I'm not an adult.
It is very difficult to fill a pen with one hand.
Yeah.
So if you make a mess and fill the pen, you're still better than I am. I make a mess and I don't fill the pen. So
this one is probably the finest one I have. Let's see here.
okay. So try to write as light as you can. Just make a slinky with just really fast and really light. Okay, that's perfect. That's really a nice fine. And if you were to press down the entire time while you're doing that, okay, I can really see the difference between both. So if that's the one you practice with, I think that would be good.
All right.
Because that will show you most readily from the top of the page to the bottom of the page, you're improving, that you would be improving, I would think.
All right, I can write real like this.
That's going to be hard. You're now dealing with, you know, it's like when I drive a stick shift for the first time, I'm always slamming on the brake. Or no, when I'm driving an automatic after driving a stick shift, I'm always slamming on the brake, thinking it's the clutch. So it will take a while to get back to the thing. But again, I think by starting big, you know, 3-inch, there we go, that large, you know, fill up a couple of pages of slinkies like that, and just get your arm and your fingers used to that rhythm of down on the downstroke, up on the upstroke. And if you can, try to get the upstroke, the lightness, lift up on the pen when it gets to the 9. Thick at 12, start lifting up at 9, and then thick at 12. Again, it's a little tough, but it's a good exercise, I think.
It is a very good exercise.
And it's very hard to do because you when you lift up, you think you're supposed to go up. So that's why the parentheses are sometimes good.
Yeah, a little like.
Because you're just making an arc.
Oh, that was not.
Yeah. Again, it's the hardest part of learning how to use a flexible pen is not learning how to make it flex. It's how to make it not flex. How to have it be as fine as you can. You're going into that black hole again. You're smaller and smaller. Maybe do this. Even if it's going to be a little jerky at the bottom, and even if it'll be a little fat at the bottom, try to just do it where don't start getting thinner at 9 o'clock. Get thinner at 6 o'clock. At the bottom of the page, as soon as you start going uphill again, lift up on the pen. I think that's just easier. Down on down, up on up. And I think that's an easier way to do it. But you're still pressing down too hard on the up. I'm sorry for laughing.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
I feel like I'm in kindergarten again, and my teacher's like, "Listen, Melissa, you need to keep putting the paper on the thing, put the words on the page." Might get myself some lined paper.
Lined paper wouldn't hurt. It's, but I mean, it's fine. It's just one more thing it's like I'm teaching you how to use a stick shift, and I'm doing it in the parking lot, the empty parking lot. I'm not going to bring you to the highway.
Right. Please don't take me to the highway yet. I'm not ready. I will crash us.
So doing it on lined paper is later on. I don't think
I got you.
At this point. I think it's it's mainly just learning the thick on the pressured downstroke, the unpressured, and by unpressured, it really means you almost have to lift up. You have to learn to lift up on the pen. So, see, those lines are very delicate compared to the downstroke or even the ones that are up there. So, see, I see there's a difference there.
Oh yeah, I'm like barely.
Yeah, it's the barely. That's what we want. We want the barely touching. Melissa draws much slower and deliberate than me, says Joshua. Like most girls, he says. Well, Joshua.
I'm sure he draws way better than me because this is my stick figure.
Okay, well, stick figures are that's a decapitated stick figure.
He's got a head. Oh wait, there we go.
Oh, it's better.
He's got a neck. I mean,
yeah, pretty long one. He's a giraffe neck. So, well, good.
I think I might have gotten a little bit of it. I just need to practice now.
Yeah. Now, if you have you watched any of Marilyn's?
I have not, but I feel like I should go subscribe and watch.
Yeah, I think. Oh, thanks, Will. I think you know, I haven't watched many of them, But I think that she could, you might benefit from when you get to writing the actual letters and forming the shapes. I think that that might be good. But in terms of the push pull thing, I really think my system works pretty well. There are other little tricks I might know, but I know how they work with old pens. I really don't know modern pens and how well they flow, or the shape of the nib I think is going to be wider than most of the pens I have anyway. But one of the things that a calligrapher friend of mine does when he's doing envelopes and he wants a really, really fine hairline, he'll take a sheet of newspaper, full sheet, and he'll fold it in half and fold it in half again and maybe fold it in half a third time. And he'll put that on the table, and then he'll put the paper that he's going to calligraph on top of it. So there's this cushion. There's a pressure being pushed up against the pen from the table. And even if he lifts up on the pen away from the paper still wants to be pushed up. And it's really a way to get really the finest line by just holding the pen, moving the pen across what would be empty space if it didn't have that paper being pushed up on it. And another calligrapher does the same thing, except he takes the piece of paper he's going to write on and he'll go over to the edge of the table and he'll pull the paper across it. And what he's doing is he bends the paper into a little arc by doing that. And then he has the arc, pushing up in the middle of the page. So he gets the same thing. So I think the newspaper is easier, but don't fold it so it's flat. You want to just fold it sort of loosely. So there's a couple of layers of sort of air between the page pushing up. So there you're alternating between up and down. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, well,
just trying to get the feel of it before I go into the making one big motion. I thought maybe if I down, real light up, down, might give me the motion.
Yeah, you can do it. I mean, try doing a zigzag without lifting up the pen. Just keep the pen on the paper and then just do a zigzag. How's that working?
Can you see the?
Yeah, that's working great. So that's, another, pages of that would be good, but you'll learn again. Now maybe that pen nib really only goes that thin. It's sometimes it won't get thinner than a certain amount. So, but there's still a difference between the two. It's almost like twice as big.
Yeah, it's definitely when I go down.
Yeah. But you see, your upstrokes there are still bigger than your upstrokes.
Yeah, the paper's you're like that springy thing you were talking about. I do have paper underneath here. It's kind of pushing it up.
Yeah.
So I got to get used to the.
Yeah. And again, when you write bigger like this, it's a little easier for you to shift gears because it's not going to happen immediately. You do have to, there's time between the thick and the thin that it gets thin, but by doing it twice as big like that, you do have a chance of making it get really thin by the time it gets to the top.
Oh. There we go. Look at that fresh sheet just for this.
Seems like it's skipping. Is it skipping or is it just your?
It's me trying to lift up and still touch the paper.
Oh, okay.
It's loud. It's a loud
It sure
scratching.
is. It sure is. it's pretending it's a rake.
All right. But what can I say? I got 4 of them for like $15 maybe.
Okay, well that's good. And if by doing these pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling, you end up sort of springing the steel nib, it's well worth
Yeah.
a couple of bucks. So,
Oh yeah. If
so
this nib goes, this is just what I use to test the vintage ink, that so because you can see in the barrel.
yeah.
So I look for sediment before I put it in my other pen, because
Oh,
I'd
good. Good. Well,
rather
I'm
wreck
glad
this
that,
one.
it's nice to have a pen that you can screw up if you have to.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Now there, I don't see as much of a difference, and I don't know why, but
Let's try this again. Light. It's being a little weird.
well, I can see it a little bit. Well, do what you're doing now, where you're making little wavelets.
All right.
The bottom is curved. You can have a point at the top, but down and then lift up. Yeah, see, it's gonna be a little harder, but again,
What was I just doing here? See, sometimes I doodle and I don't know what I was doing.
yeah, I know. When you don't know what you're doing, it works out better than when you're thinking. It's like if I am skiing and I think about what I'm actually doing, that's when I fall. So,
Oh, somebody's at the door. Hold on just a
okay,
second.
okay. Your camera makes you look like you're 60 feet tall there, Melissa. I don't know. Do you have a weird lens on it or something?
No, I wish I was 60 feet tall. I'm only 5'7".
Okay. Well, there was something interesting about your camera. Anyway, I think that this is a good exercise, and just, you know, do a couple of pages of this, and hopefully in a number of the pages, this is the first one I did, this is the third one I did, hopefully you'll see that there's a difference by the time you're done. Are you there? You are.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, just muted my mic for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure if I do, like, I don't know, I could just practice this all day, I feel like.
Okay. Well, if you do, just number the pages so we can see, you can see how, if you're improving at all. And again,
Right.
you are using a pen that doesn't have a lot of flex, but you can try it with other pens too. But Mighty Mouse is only 5'7".
I like it.
You're using your fingers a little more, it looks like, than your whole arm.
All right.
I realize this is another thing to think about, but try not moving your fingers at all. Try to keep your hand completely still and just move your arm rather than your. Oh, she's 5'1". She's 5'1"?
Oh, 5'1".
Okay. She's 5'1".
All right, pen, why are you not variating?
Because you're not pressing down with your
There
finger.
we go.
You have to use your index finger to apply the pressure on the way down. But again, it's just when you're using your fingers rather than your arm to make the shape, you get a little, you start falling over. Your letters start falling over.
Right. Okay, let's see.
But again, the main thing for me is to get you used to pressure downstroke, unpressured, if not lifting up upstroke. So
I don't like that shape.
okay. Well, think of a do this. Think of a roller coaster,
All right.
and you're going fast down, and then you go slow up, but slow light up or something. I mean, that's not. But just I'm trying to think of a way where you can and you're making a U shape. I'm trying to think of a way where speed and
Well,
no, rather than going uphill, go downhill. I'm having start down and then go back up. So you're at the top of the thing, and you're making a loop, a U shape. And you could just make a U. You don't have to connect them. There. See, that's thick on the down and light on the up. Maybe that's the thing to practice. And just rather than making lots of, just make separate ones. A separate U. Yeah, perfect. A page of those.
yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, do a page of those.
Yeah, those are good.
Hey, Miss Marilyn has a whole class on it. Check it out. What's the name of that one? I'm trying to get her to do the pressure downstroke, light upstroke thing. Not talking about letters or
No, yeah.
just getting used to the pressure. So Miss Marilyn, maybe do you follow each other on Instagram?
No, but we should.
Okay, well, or just find her on YouTube, and I don't know if do you have a title of this video? Marilyn Darling is her Instagram name. So you guys can talk about that. And Marilyn was talking about the possibility of doing videos like this, posting them herself, where we would maybe join in on her channel, and maybe hers would be more geared to calligraphy. Or see, that's really lovely. With a pen that has so little flexibility, you're getting a good variety there. And because it's easier, I think, to get back on a light stroke when you have a definite spot where you go uphill, where a slinky is harder. You have to decide which point you want it to be.
Yeah, I like this. This gives my mind a more clear where to stop, where to start.
Yeah, it's easier, but it's a good way to learn how to do it, and then go from that to a U, and then go from that to maybe the circle again. The slinky routine. But I think
that one wasn't good.
Okay, Miss Marilyn Darling is talking about being live tomorrow at 5 Pacific time. So, but we'll figure this all out.
Just writing myself a little note.
Okay. Yeah, the Zoom thing, I really like this StreamYard deal a lot better than Zoom. It seems easier to deal with than Zoom for me. But I know that people that know how to use Zoom know how to make that work. but anyway, I think it'll be fun. So I'm going to go sit on the couch, and my battery's almost done here anyway. So, but thank you, Melissa, for doing this.
No, thank you
Oh,
very much.
that's her calligraphy class. So so find her on Instagram, Melissa, and at Miss Marilyn Darling. No, at Marilyn Darling, and then
All right.
Marilyn.
YLIN.
ILYN, Darling. Yeah. And Tasha's late in the show again. That's okay, Tasha. I'm not going too many places too far, so I'll be on again. My battery's just almost dead, so.
All right. Well, it was lovely chatting with you. I'll leave so you can say your goodbyes.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. How are your pens, Tasha, doing? Get me a battery pack. I know I did have it plugged in, but because I turned the camera around, I moved it away. Oh, good. Well, I think that you'll continue to like them. But I am going to sign off, and I think I'm going to see if I can take a little nap, because it's that time of day. So be good, everyone. We'll catch you later.